Success is a mindset.
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 Mindset. Mindset.
What is mindset? Mindset is, what do you think about all day? How do you push through when you don't want to do something? Not motivation, but mindset to be disciplined to be able to reach your goals. There's going to be crazy things that come into your mind. Can we program our brains to have the majority of that be positive thoughts that are propelling us towards our version of success? And I absolutely could have titled this video,
5 mindset shifts I made to make me a millionaire.
Okay, what if that's not the ultimate goal? Maybe it is. Maybe you want to be a millionaire, make more money. Maybe you want to quit your 9 to 5 and start a business. Maybe you just want to have more joy and less worry in your life. So in this video, let's talk about those mindset shifts that we can make to get us closer towards our version of success and happiness. Up first, learning to trust our gut. One of my favorite movies, Hitch, Will Smith's character said something about
Right in this area.
and he's talking about his gut and a gut feeling. That's what it is that gut feeling that kind of solidifies to us, this is what you should choose. This is the path that you should go on. Here's the direction to take. And the truth is that nobody else can make those choices but us. And if we allow other people to make those choices, we don't have ownership in it. If it goes wrong, then we look back at that other person and say,
Look what you made me do.
Look what you made me do.
so we absolutely need to take ownership of those choices that we make. I was the youngest by 6 years, so there was a lot of modeling going on, and I was literally looking up to my sisters, and they modeled great stuff for me. And I got to take this from my oldest sister, and this from my middle sister, and this from the sister right above me. However, I still have to forge my own path. I'm the one who gets to wake up and live my life every day. So how can we learn to trust our gut a little bit more? I'm 36, and I feel like I'm just starting to get better at this. And there's nothing wrong for asking for outside opinion or asking for someone's take on something, but that doesn't mean that it's meant for us. So that's kind of the gathering phase is, okay, there's this really important decision and I want to gather information. I want to gather insights, whether that's from my inner circle, whether that's from books that I love. I'm going to gather information and insights. And then I'm going to run that through in my mind. I might go on a walk or a jog and think about it. I might let a little bit of time pass and see what that gut check is telling me. And sometimes we feel like we're so in the dark, right? I have all these options and a lot of them are good options. I don't know what to choose, but I have fear that if I choose wrong and I get to where I'm headed, I'm not gonna like the outcome. Another movie quote, can you tell I like movie quotes? From the movie Wedding Crashers, when Claire is deciding, should I marry this crappy character or should I marry Owen Wilson's character? And her dad says, what's wrong? He can tell something's wrong. Those around us can always tell when we're kind of mulling something over, right? Because your whole life's gonna be fine. All we can do is take the information at hand to make the best decision possible. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows what's gonna happen tomorrow, 6 months, years from now. He's right. All we can do is take the information at hand when we're mulling over the options after we've gathered all the information. What I found helps me trust my gut and make a decision is what keeps coming back to me. So yesterday, maybe there were 5 options I thought through, and today there's another 5 options. What's the common denominator? Which one do I feel good about saying this is meant for me? So that's how we can begin to trust our gut, is gather the information from the sources, run it through, whether it's time or visualization, and just make the best decision with the information at hand and move forward. And remember, you can always take a right turn if you don't like this path, but the worst thing you can do is not make a decision. It's that pause of indecision that will drive you crazy, make you sick. Last thing you think about at night, first thing you wake up in the morning, literally. And I love this quote by Teddy Roosevelt. In a moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing you can do is the wrong thing. And the worst thing you can do is not to make a decision. Indecision kills. Check your gut, poll the audience, move forward. Trust me that learning to trust your gut is gonna serve you so much better than over-analyzing every little thing to death and feeling like you have to rely on other people to literally make the decisions in your own life for you. Not gonna work, not gonna lead to your version of success. Practice and learn to trust your gut, and you're gonna have more ownership with your decisions and more happiness with the outcome. Oh, and you'll have nobody to blame but yourself when it goes wrong, so you'll be more invested in backpedaling, pivoting, reversing reverse engineering, doing the work to propel you forward. Okay, in a second, I want to talk about how I got to my very favorite motto in life. But first, I want to talk about really committing to being a lifelong learner versus,
oh, I got my diploma, I'm done, check the box, got my certification.
No. Best way to success is to continually evolve, learn, grow, get better, smarter. Think of doctor's office, okay? And you see their diploma on the wall when you go in, like, oh, they graduated from Duke University in 1980. Like, are you more excited that they've had more time or less excited? It depends on if they're a lifelong learner or not. It depends if they're still doing the exact same techniques that they learned in 1980 and they've never gone to a conference, they don't keep up on the latest evidence-based practice, then like you're not as excited. Then you're gonna find yourself like sneaking out of the door like an escaped prisoner because you don't wanna be their patient because they're not up to date. They're not gonna do absolute best practice because they're stuck in 40 years ago, which isn't gonna give you the best health outcome. It's the exact same in any field. Quick story here is when I had been a labor and delivery nurse for about 5 years, which is not even that much time. I worked with women who had done it for 25 years. A new nurse was just coming off of her 12-week training. We caught her after a shift and we said, oh, how are you feeling? Like, are you feeling nervous or excited or you feel like you have learned? And she's like,
oh yeah, like I'm done with my training, so like I should be good to go.
And so we were like, oh, And then she left and we were just like, oh my gosh. Because even 5 years in, I was like, every day I felt like I learned something new when it came to helping women through labor and delivering babies. Love her. She probably learned that as she was going, but the point there is that just because you're done with training or you have your diploma, you have to commit to be a lifelong learner, and then you're gonna be so much more valuable as a business owner, as an employee, as a member of your own family, a parent, a sister. No matter how many years of school, how many years in business, remembering that we don't know everything, things are changing all the time, and having that commitment to being a lifelong learner is gonna help you let go of your ego and really help you grow and progress in whatever phase of life, business, family you're in. Okay, now we're getting to my favorite life motto, and it's called resilience wins. This is coming from a mom of 3, a business owner, a cancer survivor. Slip that in right there. So a couple things that I've learned here is that in business, I was like super excited when I started. I knew nothing, and maybe that was to my advantage, but I quickly found out that keeping at it and showing up, even when I didn't know a lot, is that one quarter I would learn one thing, and then I'd maintain that skill. And then the next quarter I'd learn something else. And then the next quarter I'd make a mistake and backtrack, but I still had those other 2 things that I was doing really well. And the more you can just stack your skills that no one can take from you, that incremental progress and that incremental improvement is really gonna make a big impact a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. And if you just keep going, you're guaranteed success and your version of success. And how I found this in my personal life when I was diagnosed with cancer and then I had recurrences of cancer. Every time I was, diagnosed, I've gone through it 4 times now, I didn't know what the outcome was gonna be. I didn't know if treatments were gonna work. I could choose just to curl up in a ball and stay there. And sometimes I did that for days and weeks at a time. But there was always that moment when I made the choice, keep trying, to show up, to fight, and to be resilient. And I think that's the key, is when we don't have a guaranteed outcome. And that's where it's hard to say I'm grateful for going through cancer, but what I gained was that ability to be resilient with no guaranteed outcome. And that's the place that we have to get to. It's all well and good to talk about it, to talk about being resilient, and to talk about keep moving forward and show up regardless until you're kind of in that tough spot. I think that's where I've learned the most about resilience and how resilience is so much more powerful than any quick win could be for you. And there's so much that can go into that ability to be resilient and trying and failing and these myriad of things. I had, an inspiration board. I had, inner circle family members who would come by and do things for me on treatment days. I'd have my favorite movies. And so maybe that's inspiration for the next video, like resilience wins and what does that look like? Okay, this next one I was introduced to in 6th grade, and it's made it this long. How long ago was that? Let's not count. Be real and work hard. Okay, so authenticity and just hard work over fake it till you make it, with a little caveat there. Okay, so I learned the concept of fake it till you make it in 6th grade, and we're literally sitting on the carpet
Crisscross applesauce,
looking at our teacher, and she's telling us these hardcore topics that I'm so grateful for. But she talked about faking it till you make it, and what she meant by it was, hey, sometimes you have to show up when you don't know everything. Put on a smile and be brave. Fake like you have that confidence until until you can build it. And I love the way that she spinned that. In my work and building my business, I don't want to be fake. I want to be authentic. So I got to be real, and I got to work hard and try stuff that I'm not guaranteed is going to hit every time. Like Alex Hormozy says, you don't get confident by like shouting out affirmations at the mirror and faking it. You know, you get confident by having this indisputable stack of proof that you are who you say you are. But what about the people who don't have the stack of proof yet? You do have to have that courage, and you can still be real about it. You can say, hey, I'm brand new at this, but oh my gosh, I'm so excited, or I can't wait to help you. You know, you can be transparent when you talk about your why you're passionate about it, why you're qualified to speak on it, how it's affected your life, whatever that subject matter is, you know, or applying it to something else like parenting, like being honest with your kid, like, hey, you know what? I'm not a perfect parent either, but we're gonna learn together. That's gonna be key to success in personal life or in business. Okay, in just a second, I'm gonna get to my pro tip, which is a total game changer, but I wasted too much time in both personal life and in business thinking like, okay, I just gotta put my glasses on and I just gotta research and find the right way to do stuff. And then I just gotta follow it and all my dreams are gonna come true. That's not how life works. And what I've learned is that everything's a test. You've gotta make decisions with the information you have, and then you gotta test. Did that work? Did it not work? If it worked, I'm gonna keep going forward and I'm gonna continue to optimize and make it better and better. If it didn't work, I'm gonna set it down to the side, try something else. The sooner you can commit to kind of being this mad scientist experimentalist in your life, the more satisfied you're gonna be because you understand that it's a process, not a destination, and you'll learn to have more joy in that journey. It's all about more joy and less worry in whatever I'm doing. And so I've gotta enjoy the process. And if I know that everything is a test, then I'm less worried that I'm doing it wrong, and I'm more focused on, let me just test this and then I'll have my answer. Okay, so we made it to my pro tips. Recently, I was able to attend this huge keynote presentation by renowned author Joseph Grenny. And he talks about these different kind of experiments that they set up to see how human behavior works and how our mind and mindset is attached to that. So he set up this little experiment on Halloween with a table. You know, nobody answers the door, and they set a bowl out and they say, take one, please. Nobody ever takes one. But they had a video there, and they had a bowl of the single, you know, cut up apple packages you can buy, and then they had a bowl of just traditional Halloween candy. So like an hour went by and nobody took from the bowl of the apples. Then they switched things up. They put a sign next to the bowl of apples, still right next to the bowl of candy, that said, champions eat this, and pointed to the bowl of apples. So cool to watch. Within the next hour, more than half of the trick-or-treaters picked out of the apples bowl. So what happened there? They had a mindset shift. The mindset shift was,
oh, champions eat this. I want to be a champion, or I am a champion, therefore this is what I should choose.
Such a cool trick to be able to shift your mind in anything you're trying to accomplish in your life, thinking that champions do this, so I'm gonna do this. On those mornings we wake up and we don't wanna exercise. On the days that we don't wanna have more patience with our kids. On the days that we don't wanna show up and do the boring tasks in our business that we know we're gonna move the needle down the road. We need to use Grenny's mindset shift here and think like, whatever that thing is we wanna be, say it's a champion, champions get up and exercise. So I'm going to get up and exercise. And the pro tip, the little caveat there that makes all the difference in the world is, even when I don't feel like it. Hope you guys love this video. Let me know where your mindset's at in the comments and what your absolute favorite tip here or takeaway was, something I'm still working on daily. Hope it's helpful for you.